to this game. It's the Jets going up against the Redskins. With that, let's get up to FedEx Field. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between the New York Jets and the Washington Redskins. They come up in an offset eye. Here's the first carry for Matt Jones. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Starting 11 here for the offense. It's going to take some snaps here in a second. Wide receiver Pierre Garçon, always been a very good force in this league.
I agree with you totally on that. Even as a youngster, played with a fury, played with force, continues to do that now as a veteran, and knows how to mentor the younger guys.
Second down, Cousins. A dump underneath to Jones. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down. And the defense for New York.
Sheldon Richardson's talent is absolutely immense. And when he plays on the defensive line, it's a difficult task to block him.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. To throw is Cousins. And Davis with it left side. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Washington. Matt Jones, 57 yards. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. So a big-time scamper there to cap a touchdown on the opening drive.
Sets a tone, establishes not what you'd call a dominance, but a really good feeling for the team that just scored. But I've got to ask you, partner, what do the analytics say about that type of a run? Does it establish anything else for them?
Here's Matt Forte with his first carry. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Fitzpatrick now. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I think the best offenses love to give the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. On first down, this is Forte. And he'll cut it to the left sideline. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So to carry that time for Forte, a man who turned 30 last December, Charles.
And he wants to make sure we forget about that with his new team, the New York Jets. But we do know that 30 is the dreaded age for runners.
And Forte so experienced, more touches than anybody else in the NFL the last 8 years. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down, and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Devin Smith that time. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it.
Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Another pistol look here. Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. Looking here for Smith downfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Matt Ioannidis, the rookie from Temple, in there to drop him, and that will go into the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. With it is Jackson. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Cousins with a give to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Cousins now on second down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he's brought down. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2nd down, 8. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10. To start things out. Second down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go. 3rd and long for Cousins. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Dustin Hopkins now for the Redskins field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Now it's the backup Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Here's Smith. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Throwing is Smith. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Here's Jackson. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
One man in the backfield. That's Jones. Now Cousins. Caught left side. Garcon. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And when you're trying to set up a counter play, it's what a lot of people call an influence play. You're really hoping those defensive linemen are really agile that day. If they stayed out late the night before the game and they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you hope to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to, and probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away.
Cousins bringing it in. Jackson left side. And he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat. Up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
One man in the backfield. That's Jones. And he'll get it up the middle. Muscles him off. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And there, Matt Jones, the ball carrier. Last year, only 3.4 yards per carry. Did have some explosive plays, though, in the passing game.
And they think that they're going to get him in the running game from him now as well because the volume of carries for him will increase.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins firing quickly here, and that's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Jones trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll try again with Jones. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Matt Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
So second and 10 here. Now Gino. Here's a screen to Powell. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and got the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
It goes as a pickup of 23, and it's first down, New York.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Their big tight end from 13 yards out. And the Jets have made this a one-score game.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, if they can just tighten.
It's what they want to do, tighten down everything they're doing, and then maybe explode at the right time.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. One man in the backfield, that's Jones. A first down throw for Cousins. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Here we go.
Cousins now to throw on first down. It's caught by Jackson. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing, Cousins, caught on the right side, Reed. And I think the ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And the Jets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Smith. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Geno. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He gets it here to Peak. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And now Nick Folk, his career-long 56 yards. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out. out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They go again with Powell. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Steps away to his left. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
This is the running back, Powell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. And counting the defense here, the Redskins have 6 defensive backs out there. Now under pressure there, and Hackenberg is sacked. Chris Baker in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Folk's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 2nd down following the run. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Derek Carrier, the one he was looking for. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes and we'll be in great shape.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And now out come the Jets. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. They begin with a carry for Powell. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Well, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2nd down, Hackenberg. Out to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Hackenberg. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Clemson Tiger, Sharon Peak, was the target. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield, and they'll say actually right at midfield. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch left, watch left.
Back it up, Philly. Here we go. Let's go. Green.
Following the interception, here's Hackenberg. His throw incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Back it up. Gun. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky Leopard. Here we go now.
On play action, it's Hackenberg. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop.
Everyone got four.
Let's go. Green 39.
Hackenberg from the gun on third. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A first down throw for Hackenberg. He gets it here to Peak. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Jets are going to get a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll come out in the pistol. Hackenberg now to throw on first. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And for the quarterback, Christian Hackenberg, the first touchdown pass of his NFL career.
And that has to be really satisfying for him, because if you go back to him being a freshman at Penn State, he's predicted to be great, maybe even the top pick in the draft when he came out. Things didn't work out quite that way, and by the time he hit the league, there were a number of doubters. That touchdown right there, that gets him on the track towards being one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Well, he only threw 16 touchdown passes last year at Penn State. What do people like about it?
What they love is his frame. I mean, he looks like a quarterback. Tall, strong, big guy who can throw the football downfield, schooled in the pro-style passing game, but he wasn't as accurate as he needed to be. That has to continue to improve.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Out to the left here to Reed. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. Another pistol look here. They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He finds his target. It's Crowder. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
All right, here we go.
They run it here with Thompson. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Again, we'll see the pistol here. He'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
All right, so this one's now back within a field goal, and if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us. Where they shake hands here.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Hackenberg on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That one complete to Anderson. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, here's Hackenberg. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their big-bodied receiver with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Redskins. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Powell. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13. Yard line. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, certainly a tough loss here, but they've got to move on. I mean, you have another opponent next.